vast expanse of open sea. Gazing at a bird in flight, soaring through the air, lying down beneath the stars. I feel your presence there. I love to stand at ocean shore and feel the thundering breakers roar. To walk through golden fields of grain, neath endless blue horizons listening to a river run, watering the earth, fragrance of a rose in bloom, a newborn's cry at birth. How could I say there is no God when all around creation calls? A singing bird, a mighty tree, the vast expanse of open sea. I love to stand at ocean shore and feel the thundering breakers roar. To walk through golden fields of grain, deep endless blue horizons
We all believe.
Joyce Patterson is a 40-year-old reader and yeah, she's a 40-year-old reader who's been studying for 60 years. Is a 40-year reader and study group host who currently lives in St. Petersburg, Florida. She has, I'm going to have to edit this just a little. She has 2 men who are sons, aged 32 and 33. I know they're your boys. And we must have had an error in the profile. She has a master's degree in marketing and distributive education. Trust me, I didn't read that right the first time. She is a Florida Supreme Court certified family and county mediator. With the presentation Carpe Diem, Seize the Day, Progressive Evolution of Study Groups, please welcome Joyce Patterson.
This happens every time.
The reason I wanted him to read that last
It's all
one
right,
is
Scott.
I'm a Florida Supreme Court certified mediator, not like a national, I don't even think we have national ones.
Microphone.
Am I on now? No. Can you hear me in the back yet? Almost, Sharon? No. Maybe I have to use my teacher voice.
Yes.
Now you can? Yeah. All right, great. Well, thank you. It's wonderful to be here. I was just saying that it's really important for me to clarify what's incorrect in the program profile. It says that I'm just a Supreme Court certified mediator, but it's really important that we clarify that's a Florida Supreme Court certified mediator. I'm assuming there was a lawsuit or something about 5 years ago, and suddenly all the certified mediators around the nation had to clarify who certified them. And as far as I know, we don't have any national Supreme Court certified mediators. Maybe we could use some. Anyway, so good morning. Carpe Diem, seize the day, progressive evolution of study groups. So welcome to day 2 of our symposium. It's really not day 3. We had Wednesday night, and then we had yesterday. And today we're on the how. We started off really with the why, and yesterday we got a little bit into the what with effective study groups. And today is about the how we're going to do this. So this should be practical, and I hope that you all still want to talk like you were talking at breakfast, because I'm going to be asking you questions, and I'm hoping that you're going to be answering, right? Right, I knew it. I knew you'd do that. Okay, good. So I would like to do some thanks, though. First of all, can we just thank our conference hosts for their wonderful conference? And also, Edgewood College, isn't it beautiful? Oh, and I've been taking pictures to take back to school of the water fountains where you can put your water bottle and all of the different recycling that we do. We all need to be doing that and more. And a young lady took me down to the printer this morning because I made more changes to what I wanted to say today, and I had no copy. Don't you love that when you do something on a computer and then you think, oops, I wonder if this doesn't get printed out. Well, we'll just let it flow, whatever. Anyway, this girl helped me down there, and she was telling me that it was actually the students at the college that got the changes made with the water fountains and things, and that the students really have other ideas. So, it's like in the Rancho movement, right? We need to look to our younger people and use their ideas and the technology that they all have. So we're here to seize the moment which is before us. And many of you were in the chapel this morning, and I was there too. Got there actually a little late, so I hope I was really quiet. But an experience happened, and I'd like to share it with you. If you're comfortable closing your eyes, I'm thinking maybe you can experience it with me if you close your eyes. So I'm sitting in the chapel, and I'm starting to meditate, and in view comes this beautiful picture of our planet Earth, Urantia. It's gorgeous, like one of the pictures we just saw at the end of the slideshow. And it's spinning in space, and then I see this wavy sort of road that's going all around the world. And on that road is Gaetan, and he has a torch in his hand, and he has a huge smile on his face, and he's running with his torch. And he's got this banner, and it's got the Urantia concentric circles, and it's got the publication mandate. And right behind him is Chris, and they're running and smiling, and they're just going all around the world. And close behind them are the conference staff that have been working so hard on this conference, this symposium, who are totally vested in seeing the mandate come to fruition. And they too have their torches lit, and they are smiling, and they're running. And behind them, that's us. There we are with our torch, and I want you to envision yourself, because in the chapel, I watched as our bodies lit up with the flames of our torches. Just imagine running, following this dream that Gaetan has been pursuing now for 3 years, he told us. And now we're part of it. This is our opportunity to do what the Father wants us to do what the commission that brought us the Urantia book, this wonderful teaching that we have just made part of our lives. Well, we now have the next step. And then as I'm watching us run down the road, all of a sudden everybody starts veering off. And I think, where are they going? And then I realize, well, I'm going home. So are they. And pretty soon, around each one of you, I see more torches. And these are your study groups that you're bringing the message to. You're lighting the torch when you go home. And then behind that, I just see all these beautiful faces, the faces of all the people that are in our world, light up. And I know that these are the people that we're going to be bringing the torches to, so that we can have those 14,000 study groups. Thank you for sharing that vision with me. So by a show of hands, how many present today have led or hosted a study group? All right, so almost every hand, and that's what I would have expected from this group, because as Gaetan said, we are the leaders. We are the people who have gotten interested in the teachings of the book, and we are the ones who step out, who are ready to say, give me more. We're the ones that have said, I wonder what they're doing at that conference, and heard the word study group and said, study groups, yeah, let's learn more about study groups. I think I'm very fortunate that I was in Florida 40 some odd years ago. Actually, I was born in Florida almost 66 years ago, so you were being really kind to me. And I had just come home from a trip that took 3.5 years going around the world, and I found the Urantia book. And virtually everybody in our area, we were new readers. We didn't know anybody that had been reading the book long. It took us a while to pick up a few. Richard Bain, a few people who had maybe been in Berkeley Elliott's group or Meredith Sprunger's group or had come from Chicago. And we latched onto those people, but we actually didn't know them at the beginning. And so without even realizing it, we became leaders, because it started with David Glass and Steve Law, who went to Chicago to a triennial, met each other, came back and said, let's get together, let's find out who all the readers are in Florida. And literally within 3 months, we had 60 names. So we had our first conference in 1975 and had a conference every year after that, which really, when you don't have many people, what happens? Everybody works, right? So this is what you do, what you're already doing in your study groups. We just have to refine, we have to do more in our study groups to be sure that we're building and developing leaders and trainers so that we're not the only ones that always come to the conferences, but that we're helping others do that. So how many of you have participated in more than 10 different study groups in your lifetime? Okay, good. Again, most of you, and again, it's because most of us have gray hair unless we color it. And so we've probably been to conferences and things, and we have participated in lots of study groups. And again, if we have a study group at home and we have people that haven't been able to go to state conferences or national conferences or international conferences, they haven't had these opportunities. But we as the leaders, we've done it. We know how to do it for ourselves, so it's our time to take it back and have them do it. So on Wednesday, we had Chris talk to us about the mission and the purpose of the publication mandate and the purpose for this symposium. And he told us our study groups have to grow. We should be looking for 14,000 study groups. And it might look daunting, but is it? No, it's not daunting, right? No, we have to believe. Before anything can happen, we have to have the big F word. Faith, right? We have to have faith. Okay, and I like that Chris called it the Bogota standard. All right, so we have to change what we're doing because many of us, I know in the sessions that I've been to and the people I've talked to at mealtimes, have talked about having long-term study groups. So most of us are successful at retaining our people. And whether that's because we bring food or, you know, we just really open our arms and envelop everyone so that there's a strong sense of community. Most of us have had success and we have a study group. But maybe we've become complacent. How many of you think you've maybe become complacent? A couple people are willing to say, yeah, okay. And I'm raising my hand too. Because you know what? I've got a couple spin-offs from mine, and I'm sorry to tell you that I haven't gone to those. And so one of the things that I decided Wednesday night was, what is wrong with you, Joycey? You should have been there. You should be bringing more people. You should be supporting all of these spin-off study groups. And we all need to do that. Otherwise, we are not going to be growing. Let's see. Is this going to move? Every once in a while, we have to communicate this way. So, okay, so our study groups will need some changes if we're going to achieve the directive that we've been talking about this week. If we're really going to develop leaders and teachers of the teachings of the Urantia book, if we're going to do that, we've got to take hard looks at what we're currently doing and say, we're doing this right, we're doing this right. Gee, here's an area where maybe I could make some changes. So, how about it? Are we ready to do the work? Yeah. Let's see those hands. All right. Let's see a lot of hands. You know, I want to see all those torches. Yeah, all right. So, do we understand the timing of the Urantia book well enough to enlist our study groups to make the changes? So, how many of you, I know, I'm hearing a laugh. How many of you have ever just really wanted to do something and you had to use other people to let you do that and you had to sell them on the idea? How many of you have ever done that? Okay, now, keep your hand up if you were successful the first time. Okay, that's what I thought. Because you know what? Most of us don't consider ourselves salespeople, right? And yet, in the bottom line here, that's what we are. We are going to go home and we are going to sell this idea just the same way that it's been sold to us Wednesday night, yesterday, today. You know, we're going to have available to you all of the talks you're not going to have this talk available. I'm sorry. They have a different talk that's going to be online. But I said I changed it last night. You'll have a different one from me. I'll read them both. Who cares? Anyway, so you're going to have available to you all of the workshop materials that you've been to. You can do these with your study group just the same way they were done with you. I urge you to go back, use the materials. A lot of thought has gone into this because we need everyone involved. All of us have to get involved. Your study group members must get involved. So the publication mandate, here are some of the highlights. You know, it's a little bit more than just developing leaders and educating teachers to be able to go out and do this. We actually heard a lot of things, didn't we, when we listened to Carolyn Kendall? So one of the things, there's a laser on here that's going to be exciting. Let's see, maybe. Oh, look, men must be willing to seek truth and righteousness. So they're telling us this needs to happen, and when this happens, we've got to be ready for it. At that point, when the people on this world are ready, when they're ready to seek truth and righteousness, the Urantia book and all of those people that we've helped train, they have to be there. A better order of affairs on earth, we have to have improved human relationships. And don't we know how to do that? You have been building community with people all over the globe, right? All these international conferences just like this. You have made friends. We have expanded our Urantia family from just Florida, the United States, Europe. We're the world. We're global. We're everyone. That's who we are today. Early publication for training of leaders and teachers. They're telling us, hey man, we gave you this. This is why we gave it to you now. Hello, do it. I'm a little concerned that I've been reading the book for 40 years, and I knew we needed study groups, but nobody ever told me what we were supposed to be doing. Okay? I mean, you know, we happened in Florida to develop some leaders and some trainers, you know. We happened to do that, but we were lucky, all right? And are we really doing it on a day-to-day basis? I have to say no. So this is a focus for us. It's time to go, what is it that we now know that we didn't know before that we can get really excited about? Engage persons of means to provide funds for translations. Well, I don't know about you. My study group's got mostly retired people in it, one of the ones, and they don't have a lot of funds. But you know what? One of the things that's going to be important is to figure out how our study groups can put the funds they do have together, join forces, and then let that money go off maybe in a lump sum so that everyone who's a reader of the book, a student of the Urantia book, can feel like they are helping in the translations if they're not already donating money on a normal, everyday basis, which is really easy to do anymore. You can have money taken out of your checking account, your savings account, your credit card, whatever. They will take the money and they will use it. Okay, and the birth of a new age of religion on this world. And this one I think is interesting because in my study group, I have some people who've never gone to church before and they're actually a little bit timid using the word religion. Okay? So this is something that when you're selling this idea, and I'm using the word selling because you are going to go back and you are going to sell it, and you can do that because you love it. To sell something, what do you have to have? You have to have knowledge of your product, and what did I hear? Believe in the product. You've got to believe in it, and here's our product. I mean, they've just given us this. This has been like hidden. Only a few people have had this. Now we've got it. We want it to shine, right? We don't want to hide this in a closet. Okay, so we want to talk about religion. All right, what can we work on through study groups? You're going to be doing that later. A teaser, it's a teaser, yes. Let's see, I think this is going to move. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Oops, went too far. Oh, well, maybe we don't need that one. If we are to be leaders and teachers of the truth, then we must remind ourselves, so I put a little quote in here just in case you like Urantia quotes. The master sought to impress upon all teachers of the gospel of the kingdom that their only business was to reveal God to the individual man as his father, to lead this individual man to become son conscious, then to present this same man to God as his faith son. Can't we do that? Sure we can. Don't the readers in our area want to be able to do this? Sure they do. And don't they have friends and family members that would like to do this too? We don't want to exclude anyone, right? We've got to put it out there. If you've got the best thing in the world, you want to share it. I know I've told everybody I can sell you California closets without having one here, Cutco knives, and the Urantia book. Okay, more highlights of the mandate. So let's try this again. Study the order, plan, and methods of progression as enacted in Michael's life. Well, that's fun, isn't it? Don't we all love to read about Michael? I do. But now it's kind of telling us, here, focus on this. It's giving us like a little impetus here. Like, if you weren't sure what to read before, try this. Okay, study the times of Jesus on earth and note how the kingdom of heaven was inaugurated. And we all probably think we know this, don't we? But let's go back and let's share this with our study groups. Let's get them excited again, reinvigorated on, wow, we have got gold. Okay, evolve slowly or unfold naturally. With sudden force or power, evolutionary or revolutionary. They're asking us some questions here. Maybe they want us to study. I don't know. Maybe this is something you can do in your group. Possess your souls in patience. Oh my gosh. That's our planet, isn't it? Patience, patience, patience. And so I'm going to ask Bill to come down here for just a moment. I hadn't actually gotten to the slide, but you see, this looks like a good time to come. Because one of the things that we have to do when we sell our group is we really need to set goals, which we're going to talk about in a moment, but I don't want to lose the opportunity for Bill to share what he's done with his study groups. He's going, what? I only talked to you a week ago. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so when you want to do this, we want to expand the publication mandate and have more study groups. So number one, you've done that in Brandon. What did you do to get more study groups?
What do we do to get more study groups? We've tried to do spin-off groups out of there. We've encouraged readers in the group.
Speak up a little bit.
Oh.
No.
We've encouraged readers in the group.
Here, maybe it'll come off.
Okay. We've encouraged readers in the group to start their own study groups. It hasn't always been successful. We've had someone who wanted to go out and to start another study group. She was shy. People came. She didn't know much about the book. She came back and said, it's not working. It's too far for people to go. You wait, you try, you encourage. She's ready to go out again. She's ready to go out again. You encourage that to keep happening as long as someone is willing to do it. Also, something new that we started in the group, so that it wouldn't be just a regular study group, we started setting goals within the group. And started really simple. Like the first goal we set was, okay, this week, let's go home and decide or think about how do we discern the will of God in our lives, as it's stated in the Urantia book, and come back and we'll study that and we'll think about it. So we start with slight goals, and once the group gets used to goal setting and goal achieving, then they will start to set higher and higher goals, and in your study group will become more and more progressive. Is that enough?
Stay close. I have something a little later. Okay, so I skipped through a couple of the slides because I'm looking at the time and we want to stay on time here. So Gaetan's goal, Dr. Sadler's publication mandate. So are you convinced? Show me by raising your hands. Are you convinced this is what we need to do? Good. Okay. Are we motivated to take the next step? Raise your hands. Woo, are we ready to run? Okay. Are we rethinking the mission and goal of our local study groups? How many of you taken some notes and said, maybe this would work? Maybe I'll try that. Some hands. Okay. I hope to see some more hands by the end, by Sunday. Is Michael's mission and our own soul growth worth the discomfort of change?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Because it will be uncomfortable, won't it? And I think Bill can probably attest to that. And anyone who's ever tried to sell an idea to someone that it just didn't go over, but you really wanted to do that. And so a part of you feels like almost hurt. Like, I really wanted to do that. And then you have to think, well, what could I have said that I didn't say? And we have to regroup and do it again, because we have to be what? It's a big P word. Persistent. Yes, very good. Thank you. See, I knew you guys knew all this. Can we lead our study group members to accept the challenge and the greater good, which will surely come? Will your study group accept the challenge? Yeah. I'm not hearing very strong. What's that? Yes. Good. Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Oh, wow.
Whoa, that was a quick shot.
4 minutes early. Okay, so I think that said, so we are the strength. Just as Gaetan said that we're the leaders, here, we are the strength. We are going home and we are the strength. Look at that. So here's the goal part that Bill already talked to us about. In your study groups today, your breakout sessions, you're going to talk about that. There was one slide I should probably find, because that's the last one. Let's see. Oh, it's not moving again.
Wow, that's quick.
I know, this is fast, isn't it? No. One more. Whoops, I just went past it. That one. Okay, so in your study groups today, your breakout sessions, you're going to talk about facilitator skills, because this is also developing leadership, goal setting, which Bill just talked to us about, balancing the spiritual and the intellectual, and honoring our Father within the study group forum. And this is why I wanted Bill to come back. Would you just share just a little bit about what you do at the end of your study group that kind of honors the Father? Which one of these? Oh, this one.
Something we initiated about 1.5 years ago was introducing a spiritual element into our study group. Before, it was a moment of silence, and let's don't make anyone too uncomfortable. So we started introducing that as an optional exercise at the end of the study group. That way, if anyone was uncomfortable with it, they could go. That was fine. They could leave. And we started off slowly with 10 minutes of spontaneous type prayer or worship, and whatever you consider worship to be. And we increased that time as people got more comfortable to the idea. And now we have a normal half an hour, and we very rarely have anyone leave from the study group. They stay after a 2-hour session for another 30 minutes of honoring the Father in one form or another.
Thank you. I wanted him to share that because I've heard from many people, both in study groups that I've been in and also eating meals, that sometimes that's a little bit dicey. I know in my own study group, as I said, I have 2 people who have never attended a church before, and they're a little bit uncomfortable with some words that maybe we don't think they would still be uncomfortable with after reading the book, but the fact is they are, and we have to honor that. And so we can only do what everyone in our study groups are comfortable with. So today, we've got a minute. Isn't this great? Perfect timing. So when you go to your breakout group, there's going to be a handout for each participant. This is yours to keep, take home, write on, do whatever. And it's divided into 7 activities. And then because this conference is all about developing leaders, the first 7 of you can choose whatever way you want to do it, but we said maybe, like throw your names in a hat and pull them out, or just volunteer to be the leader. And there's 1 packet for the leader, and you're going to pass it from leader to leader as you go through each one of the activities. So I hope you have fun with this. I've tried to make it practical. I want you to go home and have a starting point for what to do with your study group. Thank you.